to our presentation. Okay, all right. So we are back in business. So Astute Business Solutions, we are in Pleasanton, California since 2006. We are ex-PeopleSoft, ex-KPMG. We have local and global presence. We do have offices in Canada and India as well. And locally, we are in Dallas, California, Madison, Toronto. We are Oracle Gold Partner, and we do have industry experience from financial services, healthcare, and education. We have recently acquired the Velocity Partner status, and we are an OCI reseller as well. We specialize in PeopleSoft to OCI Lift and Shift, and it has been our sole focus from last couple of years. We do have existence in Oracle Marketplace as well, so if you go there, look for Astute Business Solutions, you will see our product there. So let's talk about the cloud services and solutions we provide. So the first service we provide is around advisory. So we do provide assessment services to our customers, someone who's looking to move to the cloud in near future, but they are not very sure about the roadmap, and they want some advice on how to move to the cloud, what is the best approach, what is the best time to do that. We do provide that services. We provide proof of concept services as well, and pilot to production. We work with Oracle as a joint team, and we work with customers to prove OCI is the best place to migrate their workloads, Oracle workloads. We provide migration services. We lift and shift your Oracle workloads to OCI and other Oracle apps such as JDE, EBS, Hyperion, OBI. And we specialize in using Oracle toolset to achieve that, such as Cloud Manager, EBS Admin Tool, or Revelo. Implementation services. So once you move to the cloud, we integrate your applications running on OCI with third-party vendors, third-party systems. We specialize in Oracle Management Cloud and Mobile Cloud. Managed services. We provide SLA-based managed services. We cover your infrastructure. And on top of that, if you want technical and functional services for PeopleSoft or other Oracle apps, we do provide that. And I will cover it later, but our managed services are unique in nature, and I will let you know how in the slides after. So what are our PeopleSoft consulting services? We keep OCI in mind, and whatever we do on PeopleSoft is on OCI nowadays. So we do PeopleSoft upgrades on OCI. We do technical and functional upgrades. We do tax updates on that. We do PUM updates on OCI. And in the slides after, I will cover this in detail with you. Lift and shift to OCI. We have done 12 such projects so far. We take your PeopleSoft applications running on-prem, move them to Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, and we do proof of concepts as well, just to prove OCI is the best playground for your applications. We do move non-prod and prod selectively as well. So if you want to move non-prod only, we can start with that. We can start with DR only, and I'll cover that in detail. PeopleSoft implementation. We are PeopleSoft focused. This has been our specialization since 2006. We can do new module implementations, performance tuning, integration work, enhancement, Elasticsearch. Everything when it comes to PeopleSoft, we do have certified resources who are available, and we can help you with all the PeopleSoft implementations, be it full module implementation or an enhancement only. We are happy to take that. Fluid, that's another part of PeopleSoft which we work on. We can convert your PeopleSoft Classics to the Fluid design, portal integrations. We do provide trainings as well on PeopleSoft. So this is something I want to cover a little bit more in detail, the PTF automated testing. We are the only Oracle partner who has been validated by Oracle on our PTF automation testing tool. So the PeopleSoft test framework provided and delivered by PeopleSoft, we have used that and created and developed our own product called as Fastest. We use that to provide test automation to our customers. Oracle has worked with us jointly. They have looked into our source code. They have validated its functionality, and they finally validated us. So we are the only one who has such product in the market right now, and it's fully endorsed and validated by Oracle. Can you please go on mute, whosoever is in the background talking right now? Thank you so much. So let me take a minute and talk about all the lift and shift to OCI experience we have so far. We have done 12 such projects so far, and I can proudly say we have done the most when it comes to lifting and shifting PeopleSoft to OCI. We have migrated HCM, Finance, Campus Solution, Portal, EBS. We have done DR as well, and we have done multiple POCs. So right now there are POCs running at various locations where we are proving that OCI is the best home for your PeopleSoft application or Oracle applications. For example, PeopleSoft and EBS, we are lifting and shifting, moving the dev instance to OCI. We are resetting all the integrations again, and we are testing the performance, we are testing the load, and we are proving it to the customers, yes, this is the best place to migrate your applications. So when you talk about industry experience, from where all we have moved the on-prem applications to OCI, so it's across higher ed, healthcare, government, retail, utilities, professional services, banking, and insurance. So we do have a big project, large project going on in Orange County right now in professional services. Recently started that. We are moving their HCM and finance, non-production, production, as well as we are building their DR on OCI. So it's end-to-end application move to OCI, and we are doing all that work in 10 to 15 weeks, along with the support. We do have a very strong focus on automation. So we not only use cloud to move your applications, but we want to make sure that you improve as well. Your applications improve, the landscape improves. So we use something called as Terraform to provision your instances on the cloud. And then there are delivered tools by PeopleSoft such as Cloud Manager, which we use to provision your instances end-to-end, lift and shift to the cloud. And then we can templatize it, and later if you want to create another environment, you can do that on one click. Then of course Fastest, which is our proprietary tool, and we use that on OCI to test all your applications recently moved to OCI. And if you do any PUM updates in future, if you apply any new PUM images, we use our product called as Fastest to actually test all those newly moved applications or newly applied PUM patches on OCI. Okay, let me go to the next one, which is Oracle and PeopleSoft DNA. We are doing this from a very, very long time. We started on-prem and then we moved to OCI from last 2 years. We have around 150 plus customers. We work very close with Oracle, the product management team, and we do contribute towards the product development. We give ideas, and whatever we encounter any issues in the product. So the reason we are very, very successful in doing this is that we have a joint partnership with Oracle, and we do work hand in hand on all our projects. May I please request everyone to go on mute, whoever is talking in the background? Thank you. So why move to cloud? There can be various drivers to move to the cloud. Every customer is different, and everyone has different drivers to move to the cloud. The first can be hardware refresh. So any organization who's going through hardware refresh, and we all know how expensive and time-consuming exercise is this. And with all the new automated services available on OCI, it's much faster, can be deployed in fraction of time, it's way cheaper. Then why would we again stick with the on-prem hardware procurement, installation, go through that whole cycle again, and why not use OCI, where you can pay as you go, it's scalable, and it's available on demand, and the performance is really, really good when it comes to the OCI infrastructure. Yeah, and you have to really spend a lot of money and dollars to get that similar infrastructure on-prem. Agility, it takes less time to go to the market. Why I'm saying that is, if you want to spin up new instances on OCI, it takes a click of a button to just spin up a new instance on OCI, because it's all templatized in advance. We have tool set available with which you can click a button, it will create a new environment for you. And similarly, if you don't want that environment anymore, you can tear it down. And that is also fast. I mean, it takes even less time to tear it down and rebuild it. The instances are available on demand. If you want to clone any instance, for example, you lift and shift your development environment to OCI, and then rest of the instances can be cloned. Security. So we all know that on-prem infrastructure, you have a lot of security threats every day in the current environment, and you have to invest into it to make sure your on-prem infrastructure is secured. While I'm not saying that you can't achieve it, you can. But what I'm saying is, if you go to OCI, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure is secured by default. There are various levels of security available, starting from a physical security to logical security, and it goes down to operational responsibilities level as well, where you can secure it to a level where Oracle can't get into your data, or your own employees cannot see the data they are not supposed to. They cannot touch the services they are not supposed to. So you can achieve security on all levels and on all components in OCI. We'll cover that in detail later. Reduced cost, of course. You pay as you go. You pay for what you use. You have services running in OCI. You don't want to use them in the night between 9 p.m. and 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. You stop them. You don't use it. Oracle won't charge you for that. You will not use your credit for that time. So that is one big benefit you get out of OCI. And all our customers, they always request, can we automate this? We always do not want to go in and click button to stop the service. Can you automate that for us? Yes, the answer is yes. We have done that for our customers. Based on the pre-scheduled times, we run the scripts. It runs in the background. It stops the service, and when it's time again, it starts automatically. And during the time you're not using it, you're not paying for it. So we talked about the drivers. Now let's talk about outcomes. Like drivers, the outcomes will also be different for different organizations, different customers, different stakeholders. you can go by business impact. If your applications are mission critical, suppose your payroll application, PeopleSoft payroll, or you can have a bill to pay application, and you want to make sure it's always available, it's highly available, it's always running, you can pay on time, and your application never goes down. So OCI is the place to go. It's highly scalable. Whenever you need resources, it can scale automatically for you. Service levels. Do you want to improve your service levels? Yes, go to OCI. It's 99.5% covered when it comes to service levels. Performance. We have done POCs, we have done projects, we have moved our customers to OCI, and without taking any names, I can tell you we have seen around 2.5 to 5 times more performance when it comes to PeopleSoft payroll or any other mission critical applications. Security. If you are someone who is not happy with the current level of security you are getting on your on-prem infrastructure, OCI is the place to go. For few, it can be speed of deployment. So you want to do more projects, you want to do enhancements, you want to spin up instances, but it's not happening because you do not have that infrastructure available, you do not have manpower available, you do not have those resources available, so how will you do it? So that's one big driver and a reason to actually move to OCI. That is one big outcome you will get out of it. And cost, yes, we discussed that before. You pay as you go, or you pay for the services you use. So why don't you do it? I mean, I think personally I have seen these benefits, I have met with our customers, and as soon as they go to OCI, under a month or so, they have calculated how much money they have saved. And one of our customers is saving around $1 million per year going to OCI, moving from their on-prem infrastructure to OCI. Let's talk about use cases. The first one. So we are saying that, okay, let's go to OCI. There are various drivers to go to OCI. There are various reasons, various outcomes we are looking for, but what can we do once we are there? There are several reasons and several use cases on that, but I'm going to cover 3 here, the major ones, which I think are most appealing to our audience today. The first one is DR. So without actually interrupting your production instances, your production application, in parallel, you can build a DR environment on OCI, and you can spin up all the instances, all the VMwares there, you can migrate your data, and your production instance will not be disturbed at all. And the good part about it, there's a lot of automation available now on OCI for DR. The PeopleSoft Update Manager on OCI. So whenever you want to apply patches on-prem, you want new instances, a PUM instance or a dev or test instance for that, but you're not sure that current resources are enough to do that. Your current infrastructure may not support it, so why not do it on OCI? So you can go to OCI and you can have automated new PUM image, dev test deployment there. You can use Cloud Manager, which is a delivered tool from PeopleSoft, with which you can actually deploy these instances. You can create high performance VMwares, and you can do all your regression testing, load testing on OCI. It will definitely give you better performance, and without disturbing your current on-prem infrastructure, you can run this in parallel on OCI. Non-production on OCI. So if you are someone who doesn't want to move production right away, you can only move dev and test. The way we should look at OCI or Oracle Cloud is like extension of your own premise infrastructure. We should not see cloud as a different ground where you have to move everything together. That's not true. You can work in a hybrid model. You can have a few applications running on-prem or few instances of the same applications running on-prem, the other instances on Oracle Cloud. So you can move your non-production instances to OCI. You can deploy their clone, patch, tear them down on demand, and a lot of automation is available, and you can start and stop these instances whenever required. Like I explained before, you don't use it, you don't pay for it. So that's one big benefit. So you do not have to scale up your current infrastructure on-prem, invest a lot again, get additional resources, and do not use them after. So you don't have to go through that. Let's talk about business outcomes now. This is what we have observed so far, and I thought it's a good idea to share that with everyone. What outcomes business usually get out of OCI, and what is the IT outcomes? Cost, definitely, we have discussed this so far a few times. You really reduce or eliminate the on-premise infrastructure spend by going to OCI. And you know what you're paying for, and you only pay for what you use. And the prices on cloud is usually, the trend is it's going downwards, it's not going upwards. So if you compare between 2015 and 18, you can see that prices are drastically reduced, and it's going to get better going forward. So definitely you are going to get better return on your investment if you move to OCI. Performance, definitely. You achieve your SLAs. You can predict what performance will you get, and you can monitor what's happening behind the scenes on OCI. Innovation, a lot of automation is available now. Your business can transform into this, it can go on this transformation journey, and you can adopt the cloud as an extension of your on-prem infrastructure and slowly move towards the cloud and slowly start using all the new functionality, innovation, automation available on cloud. What's in for IT? They do not have to go through all the hardware refresh, and then they can actually work as a service provider instead of the data center management role. So they can move all the workloads to Oracle Cloud Infrastructure and let everything happen on OCI, achieve a level of automation, and not worry about refreshing the hardware. Then talking about performance, yes, they get next generation performance on infrastructure as a service. They can dynamically scale up and down. If they need more resources, they need additional instances, automation is available for that. Then innovation, yeah, like I said, a lot of automation is available to build up the infrastructure and tear it down. If you're not using any instances, tear it down or just stop the service. You will not pay for it. Quick slide on comparison when it comes to the hosting options. If you do it in-house, or you go to a third-party hosting provider, or if you do it on OCI. If you look at the capacity allocation and planning, the in-house is very rigid. We all know that extending that or adding any new infrastructure is not easy. It's pretty much rigid, fixed at a place. Scalability is not an option. When you go to hosting, yes, it's an option. You can scale it, but it takes a very long time. And then by that time, you're delayed in your projects. You're delayed in all of the management initiatives going on. But OCI, this is designed for scalability, dynamic capacity allocations. So the provisioning and deployment is fast, easy, and on demand. You don't have to wait for months or weeks or years to actually go through spinning up new instances or adding new infrastructure. Backup and storage. The archiving is very expensive when it comes to in-house. It takes a long time actually to set it up. But when you go to hosting, it's the same, not very different from in-house. But on OCI, we have block storage and archive storage available on demand, which is very cheap right now. I have a couple of slides where I'll share with you how inexpensive it is to actually move your data to cloud and archive it there or back it up there. Talking about security, it is achievable on-prem, but it's very expensive. You have to go by the budgets, not much you can do there. Third party, of course, they can do it for you, but again, they will charge a lot of money. But when you talk about OCI, it is secured by default. And we have starting from physical security to logical security or the network security, everything is available within OCI, and all you need to do is set it up once. There are policies available for operational responsibilities, and yeah, somebody who's working on database may not touch other servers. So we do have all those levels of security available on OCI, and I think it's a very, very good time to make use of it. Let's go to the next slide. So this is what I was talking about, the security. Another slide too gives you a bit more detail on that. So physical security, it's all secured. Logical, there are firewalls available to make sure nobody can hack into the servers. There are data backups available. It's all encrypted. We have customer isolation. That means if there are various customers on the public cloud, they can't see each other's data. It's all secluded. Even for the same tenant, the workloads can be secluded and secured so that if you are not supposed to see something, you will not. You can set it up to that level. There are security policies available where by your operational responsibility, the system can be secured, or by accident you can't go in and make changes on the server, or do not go to the areas where you're not supposed to. So I wanted to cover this piece with you to make sure you understand OCI is very, very secure, because that's one common question we have heard time again, that is OCI secured? What will happen once I move there? Will my data be secured? So this is the slide sourced from Oracle. This one, we do understand there are various cloud providers available, but just wanted to take a minute and show you there are various features available on OCI, and if you look at the graph and if you look at the image, how inexpensive it is to go to Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. So when you look at the recording as well, you can pause it and you can go through the numbers, but OCI is coming out as clear winner here. And then performance advantage. We have compared Oracle Cloud with AWS, and you can see that definitely when you talk about the database, Oracle database workload running on OCI, you get much better performance than AWS or any other cloud provider. All right, so we have covered about OCI, why we should go to OCI, what are the features available, what are the benefits, and now we want to talk about how will you move to the cloud. Right, so this is Astute's approach for lifting and shifting your Oracle applications to Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. So the way we do it is, this is our proprietary methodology. It has worked for us, and there are so many successful projects we have done using the same methodology. I thought it's a good idea to share that with you so that you understand if you go on this journey, what will it take to actually get it done. In the next few slides, I'll also cover a bit more detail around it, and I'll show you how long it takes, what are all different milestones in the journey. So when you lift and shift, suppose I'll take PeopleSoft as an example. So you do have your dev, your test, your demo, then your UAT, and then production instances running on-prem right now. So we can start with the non-production instances. We go to the site, we meet you, we try and understand your current infrastructure, your current architecture. We design the best suitable infrastructure on OCI. We build it for you, we move all your non-prod instances, and whatever integrations you have currently on-prem, we make sure you never lose any integration when you move to OCI. We keep it intact, and we make sure the performance is better, and we make sure you are getting some innovation, some automation on top of that, so you don't lose anything. We try and give you better results. And then after, we can move production. While we are moving production, if you have DR in place, we'll build your DR VMs on OCI, And then in the last step, we will actually move your disaster recovery on OCI. This is a bit more detail on our methodology. Assess part is where we come and see you, we assess your current state. If you want to, so suppose you are not ready directly go to OCI, but you want us to assess it for you, or you want us to do a quick proof of concept for you, we do it here. We design your needs and your specific architecture on OCI. We have certified Oracle Cloud Infrastructure architects who specialize in this field. So they look at your infrastructure, they look at your applications, they look at your footprint, and they design it for you. We share that with you, we explain that in detail, we get approvals, and then we finally start building it on OCI. After that, we configure it, build it, test it, we go live. The important part is we have certified project managers as well, who are really, really good in making sure we are going as per the timelines. Everyone is properly communicated. We do not face any slippage. We do not face any scope creeps. They make sure that your project is running healthy. They make sure the budget you have for this project, we do not cross the budget. And if we can give you any cost savings at the same time, we always try to do that. So this is a typical plan looks like. It's on a slide right now, but usually it's in a breakdown structure. So week 1 to 2 is more about planning, assessing, and designing. After that, we build, integrate, secure, and test. So when you talk about build part, we do non-prod first, then we do prod and DR VMs, then we actually build your DR. We validate it, cut over, support. So when we say validate and support, that means when you're doing UAT, we will be with you, we'll assist you, we'll make sure your applications which you have lifted and shifted to OCI are running properly there. So we'll stay with you, we'll handhold you, wherever you need help, we'll support you. So maybe a typical time for such project with couple of PeopleSoft applications or DR will be around 15 to 16 weeks. This is the time frame we have seen, and we have achieved shorter time frames as well based on customer needs, so which we can talk on individual basis. Let's talk about success stories. So far we have covered who is Astute, what is Astute, where is Astute, what is OCI, why you should go to OCI, what are the benefits of OCI, what outcomes you can get, how do we do it for you, how do we lift and shift your applications to OCI. Now we wanted to share with you one customer success story. How did they benefit by moving their workloads to OCI? So first, before that, these are the customers we have moved to OCI so far. These are the customers from higher ed, financial services, healthcare, and professional services. There are a few names on the slide, and where you see leading healthcare company, we are not supposed to share their name as per the agreement, but it's a big customer in healthcare we have moved to OCI. I'm going to share one example with you, CARE. It's a non-profit organization. So we upgraded them to Financials 9.2 on OCI. It was a technical upgrade, completed that in 6 months. The challenges were they wanted to be cost efficient within the budget. We wanted to use Cloud Manager. Before this, not many vendors or not many companies actually used Cloud Manager to lift and shift any applications to Oracle Cloud. So we were among the first ones who tried this. So these guys, they did not had any proper selective adoption strategy. So the PERM updates, which PeopleSoft was providing regularly once a year, I mean, these guys were really, really behind. The challenge was, how do you upgrade them and how do you make sure that they are on the latest PERM update? So we architected solution on OCI for them for FSCM 9.2, lifted and shifted their FSCM 9.2 to Oracle Cloud. We used Cloud Manager, and we did not disturb the current production system while doing this, and we achieved a level of automation, and we did cloning, patching, and testing using Fastest, which is our product. We applied PUM images there, and we used PTF and Fastest to make sure all the functionality is intact. So what we achieved out of this, reduced 9.2 deployment time by 90%, reduced total upgrade cost by 50%, and accelerated upgrade timeline using OCI. So this has been a very, very good reference for us, very good example for us. If you want to call us after this webinar, we can explain this in detail with examples, what exactly was done. We can share all those details with you. Outcomes, yes, we have already covered that in the earlier slide, but I wanted to keep it here so that when you go through the webinar again, you can read it in detail. So the acceleration, that was a good thing. I mean, we did it in a record time, upgraded them to 9.2 on OCI, and we used Terraform, and we used CLI, and we used Cloud Manager to achieve that. We load balance their highly available architecture, and we implemented Elasticsearch as well. So what is next now? We have covered all this detail with you about OCI, but how you can take advantage of this. So first thing you can do is you can try it out. We can do a proof of concept for you. We can define use cases with outcomes. It will take about 2 to 4 weeks. Our certified consultants will come to your site, sit down with you, try and understand your requirement, and we'll do a quick proof of concept for you. So that's the very first thing you can do if you're not ready to move to OCI yet. This is something you can do in parallel to your production systems running on-prem without disturbing it. We can do a proof of concept for you. And if you think you're convinced after that, definitely go ahead, and I will encourage you to buy OCI, start on that journey, and start using it. So I have Arvind here, and I thought there are a few, frequently asked questions which we should cover here in this presentation. And these are the questions we always get from customers. First one is, how do I know if OCI is the right cloud solution for my organization? So Arvind, do you want to give a little bit detail on this?
Yeah, sure. First of all, Anubhav, thank you for that wonderful presentation. I think you covered a lot of good material here. So moving to cloud obviously is not a trivial task for customers. It's not just a decision that they make for a single application, but most customers think of this as a larger strategic initiative for their organization. While they may start by moving an Oracle workload, they eventually do decide to go to cloud because they want the full capability of cloud for all workloads, not just Oracle workloads. So for a customer to determine what is the right cloud for their business needs, one of the best ways to do that is to go through a brief cloud assessment and understand how cloud can help them achieve their business needs. For some, cost may be the primary driver. For others, it's agility, faster time to market, getting out of the data center business, not being responsible for maintaining large IT assets. Whatever their need is, understanding that and then putting that in the context of cloud, comparing the various cloud providers as you did in one of your slides, all of those things are essential before they make the decision. So I think an assessment, and at the very least, if not a very detailed assessment, a discovery call with a partner like Astute and the right folks from Oracle would be a good way for them to go.
Thank you, Arvind. So I think you have already covered question number 2 here. So what do you need? Astute can definitely do assessment for you guys. And so the next one is, what they ask us is, what workloads can I move to the cloud, or is cloud safe for my personal information?
Yeah, as you said in your presentation today, security seems to be top of mind, and it should be for customers when they think about moving their applications, because it's not just the application software, but the data that these application applications manage and maintain. It's mission critical data, it's highly sensitive data, so they are right to be concerned about security. However, what we've seen so far in all of our experiences, and you've been a part of many of these, is that the customer almost always ends up getting better with security, not just from a implementation standpoint, but also from a control and monitoring standpoint when they move to Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. Now, preparing for cloud, again, I think it's subjective. It varies by customer, but there are some general things that all customers should be thinking about. One is they should have a roadmap and a game plan on what cloud can achieve for them, right? So definitely they should look at total cost of ownership going down. They should look at more automation, but there may be certain applications in a customer's portfolio that are not good candidates for moving to cloud. These may be legacy homegrown applications that are running on older application software, older hardware and software infrastructure. And customers can rethink those by saying, can I go to a cloud native application and re-implement that on cloud using a variety of platform services, for example, that OCI offers. For packaged applications, especially ERP like PeopleSoft and EBS and JDE, there is a very well-defined path to move those workloads to cloud, i.e. lift and shift, which was the focus of today's presentation. And many customers, large and small, have successfully done that before, and many of these people are also going to be at Open World this year speaking about their successes. So there's a proven path, and I think that might be a good way to follow and at least accomplish those initial cloud journeys. And then customers can continue to explore and expand once they are successful with their initial initiatives with cloud. Now, every customer will think about cloud differently. They may want to move non-production only or consider cloud as an extension of their network, as you said. So those are definitely possibilities. But I do want to call out that size or complexity of the database or the application or the level of customization or level of integration has not posed a challenge in our experience. If you take an application like PeopleSoft, the customizations are self-contained within the database. So when you move the database, everything comes over. Integrations, customers have multiple choices. They can rebuild integrations on a cloud platform like Oracle Integration Cloud Service, but they don't have to. In the first phase of deployment on cloud, they can keep all of their integrations in PeopleSoft or in EBS as is. And then over a period of time, they can look at standardizing using cloud-based services. So it's not just one way that customers can accomplish their goals on cloud. There are multiple ways to accomplish that.
Thank you very much, Arvind. So I think it's very, very important when it comes to integration. So I think once we move our applications to the cloud, what will happen? Will it be a black box from where we cannot talk to the world outside? It's not really true. And we can achieve integration in a hybrid model. So you can have all sort of combinations there.
Anubhav, we have some questions from the chat as well. So let me read out some of these things here. One of the questions here is, do you use Cloud Manager for lift and shift of production? And how much downtime is required for go live? Excellent question. So Cloud Manager for PeopleSoft can lift and shift any instance of PeopleSoft, any instance type, I should say, or non-production or production. It does not discriminate between non-production or production. There are some technical requirements for Cloud Manager, so you have to be at a minimum People Tools release of 8.55.12. And if you're at that or higher, then you can certainly use Cloud Manager for lift and shift. As far as database size, somebody has asked a question saying, is a 1 terabyte database size supported? We have successfully deployed databases that are 5 terabytes in size, and we have not had a problem. So yes, 1 terabyte should not present a problem when migrating to cloud, and it has been done before for production and non-production. The downtime required for lift and shift. So this is not very unlike the downtime you would plan for a upgrade cutover or a go live when you're doing a new module implementation. So typically, we've done it over a weekend, so start on a Friday night and then complete it by Sunday morning and do some validations on the day in Sunday and release it on Sunday night. So we have not seen any challenges there. The reason why cloud can be more efficient compared to an on-prem cutover is you have the ability to automatically deploy the VMs and stage all the data that is on-prem, stage that on cloud for your production cutover, and test that all in advance with the networking capabilities that you will have, which you will leverage to connect your on-prem data center facility to OCI. So all of that is built into the implementation plan. The final cutover is primarily a database migration, and if there are any last-minute code changes or batch file changes, migrating that. So a weekend cutover is definitely possible, and that's what we've seen in all of our engagements. There's some more questions coming in, but in the meantime, Anubhav, you have a question here about integration and the number 5. We touched upon that in the previous discussion as well. So the final comment that I would leave to the audience as far as integration is concerned is simply put, all of your integration technologies that you have on-prem today that you use, especially with Oracle workloads, people tools-based integration, EBS native integrations, all of those are fully supported on Oracle Cloud infrastructure. Whether you're using Integration Broker, whether you're using SFTP, flat files, whether you're using messaging, whether you're using web services, the latest REST technologies, or if you even have DB links, those are all supported. Now, there are some best practices that we would like to recommend so that you eliminate potential threats in the future by not having things like DB links. But if that's your architecture today and you want to move as is, that is fully supported on the cloud. So because of that, what we have found in our experience with these 12 successful migrations is that integration is actually a low impact area when you lift and shift your current applications to OCI.
And like I would like to add, if you do not want to go as is, you can leapfrog to the SOA Cloud Services or IDCS, which is the Identity Cloud Service available now. So cloud is the future.
We have one more question here, and the question is whether we can host HCM, PeopleSoft HCM version 9.0 on PeopleTools 8.53. So the short answer is yes. It can be hosted on cloud infrastructure. We'll have to look at the database version to identify compatibility with database as a service, cloud service. Because of the application and tools version, it will not be compatible with Cloud Manager, so we cannot take advantage of the lift and shift automation, and once you do the lift and shift deployment automation and tools patching automation using Cloud Manager. But you can still get much better infrastructure at a lower price point and potentially higher performance by running that application on OCI. And if there's an upgrade in the future for that application from version 9.0 to 9.2, then that can also be delivered using OCI.
And one more point I would like to add on this is, even if you can't use Cloud Manager, you can still use Terraform, and we can still deploy and provision your instances with click of a button. So once we have the script ready, you do not have to do everything manually again and again. So we can still achieve a level of automation even with that tool set.
Well, I wanted to thank everybody for staying with us through the initial technical difficulties. We apologize for those audio problems that we had earlier. I hope you found the content helpful, and if you have more questions, feel free to contact us through our website, www.beastute.com. For those of you who are planning to come to Open World in October, please feel free to reach out and meet us there. Several of our customers are going to be presenting at Open World this year, specifically on this topic, on their lift and shift to OCI and what their experience was. So we look forward to meeting you there, and if you have any further questions, please reach out to us through our website. Again, the link is www.beastute.com. Anubhav, thank you so much for your wonderful presentation, and to the audience, thank you again for your time today. We look forward to speaking to you again on our next webinar, but in the meantime, have a wonderful Labor Day weekend, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Thank you, Arvind. Bye, everyone.